find the opportunity to touch his clothes. I want you to listen to me real good for a moment. When you make a declaration or a proclamation about something, the enemy is going to deal with you based upon what you said. See, she was at the house when she said, if I may but touch his clothes. That may have seemed like a simple thing, but remember something. Verse 24, there was a whole lot of people following him and thronged on him. So it's not going to be that easy because I've been going through this for 12 years. My body's weak. I'm not the person I used to be. I'm not the woman I used to be. But she made a statement. And this is what you got to learn how to do. Once you put your word out there, stay with what you say, because God will not honor the sacrifices of fools. She said, if I may but touch his clothes, I shall be whole. Now, what the devil's going to do, I'm going to block that. I'm going to have so many people there, ain't no way you're going to touch his clothes. So it took an effort. It took some resolve. It took some constitution. It took some womanhood, manhood. I'm going to be persistent. Somebody may bump me back. If they bump me back 2 people, next time I move, I'm moving up 3. Y'all don't understand what I'm saying. You can have a basketball game. If all they're hitting is 2 on one side and the other side's hitting 3, the one that shoots the 3 is going to win. Amen. I'm up against something. I said it. Now I got to live with it because the devil put some roadblocks. He put some stuff in front of me. So I got to press through the crowd. Sometime in that crowd is what you said you wanted to do, and God said, "No, you're not going to do that." Sometimes it's where you want to go, and God said, "No, you're not going to go there." And if you ain't careful, you start comparing yours to somebody else. Say, well, Lord, sister so-and-so and brother so-and-so, they did this, and they go on a true crew, they do this, and they got this, and they got that. God said, don't worry about that. They're going to get theirs down here, but you're going to get yours in glory. See, we call houses by the number of rooms they have. God called them mansions. That's how I'm going to prepare a place for you. Jesus went to heaven. Am I right? But heaven's not good enough, because see, when the bride get married, they don't take you to their father's house. They take you to their house. So Jesus said, I'm going to prepare a place for you. Oh, God. That where I am, there you may be. I ain't taking y'all to my daddy's house. I'm taking y'all to my house. And we are the bride of Christ. I ain't getting no help there, man. Listen what verse 29 says. And straightway, immediately, look what the Bible says. It described it as a fountain of her blood dried up. When the fountain dried up, the blood stopped. The Lord said, cut the faucet off. And she felt in her body that she was healed. It's something when you know God did it. I ain't getting no help right now. I'm talking about when some old speculative. It's something when you say, man, I know God did that one. I know how I felt last night, and I know how I feel right now. I know how I felt before the prayer of faith was prayed, but I know how I feel right now. I know when I couldn't get up and I had to work my way up, but now I can just come. I know when I can stand on one foot, then stand on the other. I used to be able to hold myself. I ain't getting no help right now. I know how I used to be. I couldn't drink but a half a glass of water. Now if I ain't careful, I drink a half a jug. I'm delivered. I'm healed. I know how it was when I couldn't stand to smell food. But now, food look like it smells me. Like it draws me. I'm delivered. I'm delivered. You got to learn how to pressed through the crowd. You know what the crowd was saying? The crowd was telling her, you know, you need to find another doctor. There's still some doctors you haven't been to. But when she heard of Jesus, I don't need no doctor. I heard of a man that's healing. I don't want to just be doctored on. I want to be delivered. I'd have been doctored on. I want to be delivered. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself, isn't it something when you know and God know? You know it happened. God know it happened. And Jesus, immediately knowing in him that virtue had gone out of his body, gone out of him, turned about in the press. I told you that's where he was. Jesus had to sort of work his way around. Folks everywhere, they still thronging on him. But he's still trying to find all them folks. Jesus, all y'all out here, and some of y'all don't want nothing. Jesus had to try to look for it and find it. Is something God got to look for you in the crowd. See if you came to give him some praise. If you want to just come out here and look churchy, he have to look over the crowd to see where the praisers. Where the praisers? Some folk they give him a half mass every now and then. But then you got some more folk. I ain't saying everybody praise him the same way, but then there's some folk they just holding themselves. Because all the while you're preaching, they're having reruns of stuff that happened in their life and how God delivered and how God brought them out. And they saying, thank you, Jesus. And the more they say, thank you, Jesus, God keep bringing the rerun. And then after a while, if you ain't careful, some ushers better get in position fast because they're going to let out a holler. They're going to be kicking the back of that chair. Think about how good God has been to me. I remember when I couldn't do this. I remember when I couldn't do that. I remember, but look at me now. Pressing through the crowd, getting past you, getting past what you think, getting past your expectation, becoming a fool for Christ and say, God, use me any way you want to use me. Choir sing a song, Lord, if you use anybody, you can use me. I know you can. Yes, you can. If you can use it, you can use me. Yes, you can. You know what? Use me. Use. Ain't no breaks. Ain't no restrictions. You want to use me. I'm crazy. I come to church on Sunday morning, come back on Sunday night. I ain't getting no help right now. I was talking to Sister Dina and Sister Marche, and I said, y'all gonna be with us tomorrow? She said, no, Pastor, Sunday school start 9:45 and 9:46. I said, what you saying? She said, we're going to roll about 6 o'clock in the morning. We're here in Atlanta. We got to be back at our church. 2 sisters. Sister Dina said, Pastor, I don't drive as fast as I used to. I said, praise Jesus. They laid out, I said, 6 o'clock. I said, 7, 8, 9. They said, well, Sunday school started at 9:45. I said, we'll be there an hour ahead of time. About 2.5 hours, 2:45, you can get there. And on Sunday morning, you can roll, because a lot. But you know what? The mindset was, they didn't say, well, we just going to go up here and stay and be here and enjoy the Lord. Because they know that they have responsibilities in Atlanta. But they stayed because we don't have a Saturday night service in Atlanta. So they stayed here for service. They said, we're going to roll. We're going to roll. They got Pastor Penson's word now. We're going to roll. We're going to roll at 6 in the morning. They're going to be there. But it just go to show you. See, you don't have to be young to do what God said do, but you have to be young and hard. I'm going to say that one more time. You don't have to be young to do what God said do, but you have to be young and hard. Last night I spoke of the freshman class for the women's prayer breakfast. That first time around. See, you got to be young and hard. You got to be willing, giving God all this. Don't make excuses. Well, I would, but you know, well, I'm 45 now, I'm 50. What? My back. Oh, you don't even have a back. You ain't low enough to have a back. How's your back hurting? See, this is what we have to get to that point where we give God all. I'm just about finished. Watch this. Verse 32. And he looked round about to see her that had done this thing, that had touched him with a purpose, had pressed through the crowd, had made up in her mind, I'm not going home without it. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done, God, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And Jesus said unto her, daughter, read that for me so folk won't think I said, daughter,
thy faith has
faith has what?
Made thee whole.
I didn't give you no injections. I didn't touch you. You set the stage. You pressed through the crowd. And because of your ambition, because of you being so aggressive, you got your deliverance. You did it. It wasn't me because I didn't even know you were here. But because you wanted it so bad, and even in the midst of all of the obstacles, you didn't let that deter you. Your faith. People, I hope y'all can hear me. I really hope you can hear me. The fountain of blood didn't dry up when she went to Dr. Smith, Dr. Jackson, when she went to Presbyterian, went to Parkland. They doctored on her, but the fountain of blood, it kept flowing. 12 years, it became a way of life. But one moment with Jesus, and that she had been battling for 12 years, immediately stopped. I don't know about y'all, but I believe this. If he did it once, he'll do it again. You know, people called me the other day and was telling me, say, Pastor, last Sunday folk were telling me how God was blessing them. Folk to my blessing this, blessing that, promotion. Brother Vic sent me a little text the other day. He said, Pastor, he said, it got me welding. I said, oh, Lord. I said, you can do it. I know you can do it. And not only aluminum welding. Everybody can't do that. And then I told him, I said, now I'm going to have my own personal welder. And I started praying right now. I said, God, make him one of the best. Let him lay that bead down so smooth. I'm talking about working. I'm talking about when you lay that bead down, look like fish scales. When you hit that flux with that chipping hammer, it just pop off and brush it in. I'm talking about. I told him, I said, it's time. It's time for you to get some light duty. Because see, a lot of times when you're welding, they got those overhead horse where you can just pick up stuff, little cranes, and you don't want to be picking up this and heavy stuff. You just pick it up with a crane and walk it over and stack it on the pile. But all you got to do, when you get so good, all you got to do is just bump your head in that hood. Just. You know what that means? More money. More money. More money. You know what that means? You know what that means? After a while, that means he got his own truck with his welding machine and all that on it. Got Victors. Then he get out, he get all that good. Then he can start training some of these other young fellas how to weld. Then all they got to do is go and run through the course because they already got it and then get certified. I mean, you went to the state and passed the certification test. I went to a place, get some little welding done, Brother Taylor and I, and the man got to talking to me and telling me I wanted him to do some stuff and sort of, sort of reconstruction stuff I had right there. He said, well, I'm going to tell you, he said, when you pull it to the shop, it's $95 for the first hour just coming in here. I said, you know what? He said, I think you come out better if you just went ahead and didn't do this. I said, I sure appreciate you being honest with me. And I got my little happy stuff, and I got in my truck, and we left. Amen. God doing stuff for his people. This brother here could have been dead. When that stuff fell on him, it could have crushed him. But God have raised him up, and he's been faithful. He's done everything. And now God said, you know what? I'm just going to give you a promotion. And see, now you can do it on the job. And they pay for everything. Ain't getting no help right now. They cutting your check. But you're putting a demand on how much you make. If you did it once. People, again, I said, the Lord told me, you're thinking too small. I said, Lord, how can I think larger? I've been working on it. I shot the juice to him. I said, man, I'm confident. I know you can do it. Yeah, I know you can do it. And I'm just waiting. And he sent me a picture, some stuff. I said, oh, man, look at it. Boy, he going to be just, shh. Folks, how you make that way? That's what I'm talking about. That's when God get in it. Just like y'all hearing little brother Bryson getting better and better on the organ. See, when God put his glory on you, then the anointing get. I told y'all, music is nothing but knowing which key to press next. And the rhythm to do it in. So all God's going to do now is just anoint. And when he anoint, listen, baby, when God anoint, people can't take that from you. When God put it in you, when he put that skill in you, can't nobody take that skill from you. And when he give you favor, doors just start. I'm closing. Sister Tia, get me Proverbs 18 and 16. Proverbs 18 and 16. What did it say?
And a man's gift.
Uh-oh. The Lord gave me that the first of the week. I shouted to Brother Vic. And a man's gift, not gifts. A man's gift does what?
Maketh.
Not just one time. But a man's gift make it. So see, you thought that little blessing you got, that was it. But God said it's making. It make it. Meaning it's going to. You don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is live saved. And the gift is going to open the doors. The gift is going to do what? Read.
Maketh room for him.
And what else?
And bringeth him before great men.
And you know what? You sitting there. I'm the gift, okay? Now I'm going to bring you. I'm bringing you. I'm bringing you. I'm bringing you, and I'm going to leave you before great men. I'm not bringing you to no paupers, no vagabonds. I'm not taking you over on 2nd Avenue where you got to go over there where all them hooks are laying all up in them caves and dens and look, dead, rotten cars and rusty cars. I'm going to take your gift. It's going to make it room, and then it bring it. It bring it. It bring it. Your gift bring it. And he know what great men to take you. It know what great men to take you to. It bring it. Bring it you before great men. Folk that got something. Folk that can help you. Folk can benefit you. All you got to do is live right and let your gift go to work. Stop getting all excited. Wait till the gift say, oh, here we are. And when you come before that great man, you know what God's going to do? God's going to touch his heart. And he going to know, or she going to know God sent you. Because you know what God's going to do? God's going to get in that brain and re-wrinkle that and tell them, now, whatever they ask you to do, you do it. I told Sister Rod, she made the statement. She don't know I agreed with her. When I was talking about what we wanted to do, she said, that's why we need the temple. And I said, I agree. Because when we build a temple, we have our own fellowship hall. We can do a whole lot of things. You think I'm going to get word and say, well, how are you going to build a temple with these little folk? My gift's going to bring me before great men. My gift going to bring me before great men. People that got money. My gift going to say, come on. My gift going to take me past the secretary all the way to his office. And I'm going to sit down in front of him. Ooh. What is that? I'm trying to get out of here. But in the book of Ezra, let me think, it's 6. Ezra, am I saying it right? 7. Ezra 7, 27 and 28. I want y'all to listen. I was trying to quit, but Ezra 20, and some of y'all need to write this down so you can go home and read it instead of Facebooking. Ezra 27 and 28, after God had blessed him. Look what Ezra said, 27.
Blessed be the Lord God of our fathers.
Blessed be the Lord God of our fathers. What did he do?
Which hath put such a thing as this in the king's heart, to beautify the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem.
Ezra 7 27. Read it one more time.
Ezra 7 and 27. Blessed be the Lord God of our fathers.
What did he do?
Which hath put such a thing
Which
as
hath
this.
Put such a thing as this where?
In the king's heart.
In the king's heart.
To beautify the house of the Lord, which is in Jerusalem.
Now watch what he said, 28.
And hath extended mercy unto me before the king.
Come on.
And his counselors.
His counselors.
And before all the king's mighty princes.
The mighty princes.
And I was strengthened as the hand of the Lord my God was upon me. And I gathered together out of Israel chief men to go up with me.
Close the book. Ezra said he put it in the king's heart. He was thanking God for putting it in the king's heart. So all you got to do is just live to please God, and God can put it in somebody's heart that don't even know you. And give you favor. Look at somebody and just tell them, say, let it work. Come on, tell somebody else, just let it work. Everybody standing to your feet. Just let that gift work. Just let it work. Let it work. Right now, you don't know what God's doing. See, right now, if you're not careful, you're going to assess your situation by all that you can see. That you have. But you don't take into consideration that God's working behind the scenes. I keep giving y'all my testimony. Years ago, I worked for Lufkin Industries. I was working in the trailer division out on the Huntington Highway years ago. And the plant manager, I was good at what I did, and I was saved too. I mean, I was good. They promoted me all kinds of ways. But the plant manager called me in the office one morning. When I walked in, he said, Harold, he said, sit down. And I sat down. So you got to remember the home of the KKK in Vida, Texas, right down the street. Just on the side of Jasper. That's where they drug James Byrd all over the highway. I'm just saying this so some of y'all understand what I'm talking about. But he called me in the office, told me to sit down. He said, we got a job opening in the welder's department. And I tried to give it to anybody but you. I'm looking at him. We crossed the desk. He said, and he ain't no real big man either. And back then, I was nice and healthy. And so I tried to give it to anybody but you. That's what he said, and put some expression on that, but you. He said, but last night I dreamed about you. He said, the job is yours if you want it. Sister Sheila, I believe God got him home in the bed, told me I'll smother you to death if you don't give him that job. And I got that job. They gave me a job as a stockkeeper, keeping up with all the parts of making trailers for 18-wheelers. We made trailers for Roadway, J.H. Rose, Consolidated, all these big. We made telescopic trailers, them low boys, C&H, and all of them. We made trailers that they took over in Africa, and the wheels were taller than I am. And I had to keep up with how many rub rails and stake pockets and all this different kind of stuff that we had to build those trailers. And if it wasn't there, I had to make sure that the machine shop was getting it done. I don't have no degree in engineering. I don't know nothing about blueprints, but God gave me that job. Man, let me tell you. I did it till the Lord said it was time for me to leave. And they respected me. Them old welders, they call me preacher. They be spitting that juice, that red man, and stuffing them buckets, and 5-gallon bucket with that flow sweeping them gnats just come, then they go back down in there. But they respected me. Used to walk through the trailer, walk through there with those overhead cranes with 2 remote control, carrying those trailer chassis that they take them up. Now we got to finish the well out on them. Driving a forklift and all that moving steel and getting this, going to the machine shop and telling them we need this and we need that. But let me tell y'all a quick miracle right quick. I had a young man. His name was Mike. He was a welder. And Mike burned his eyes welding. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about without me going into a lot. He burned his eyes welding. And he had tried a raw potato and this and that and the other. We had those big shop fans that had a guard on that blew that smoke out of there. This was a humongous place. And one day he came to me. He said, preacher, I'm going to have to go home. I said, what's wrong? He said, I burnt my eyes. His eye was just red. He was crying. He said, I can't even stand for the air from the fans that hit me. And I said, I got some. He said, oh. I said, I got some. I had a little green cabinet. And when I opened the cabinet, it had a picture of Jesus I drew hanging on the door. And I had some blessed oil in there. And I told him, I said, take a little of this and just put it on your eyes. He took that blessed oil and wiped it on his eye. He batted his eyes for a minute. He said, what? He said, my eyes ain't burning. And you know what he did? I had a crane that had a forklift like on it where you could stack those crates. He went and climbed up on about 4 or 5 story high of crates and got right in front of that fan so it could hit him in the eyes. God gave him a miracle just like that. God gave him a miracle. Bam! Just like that. He's a miracle working God. He's a miracle working God. Do me a favor. Just catch it and just tell yourself my gift. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. My gift. You're my gift. My gift is making right now. Oh God. Somebody ought to say, my gift is making right now. It's making room for me right now. And my gift is going to bring me before. Oh. I'm making an altar call. Woo. Oh, I felt that one. My gift. Even while we standing, while you speaking, while you standing, your gift is working right now. Sister Diane, your gift is. You know, I said one day I was going to go out that front door and make a lap around the building. You trying to push me out that front door this morning, huh? You want to say anything?